For all intents and purposes, most people tend to think that Speed Duels is a dead format, and honestly, I can't blame them. For the most part, Konami's never really shown all that much love to Speed Duels, and it kinda just neglected it for a very long time. However, I want to go ahead and change that. I want to go ahead and present a brand new way to enjoy Speed Duels by presenting the brand new Speed Duels Progression Series. Taking inspiration from SEMO's iconic Progression Series, every week me and my good friend Big Bear 2000 will open up 36 packs of my very own custom-made Speed Duel packs to try and power up our decks. At the end of each episode, me and him will have a best of 3 match to decide the winner of each episode. I hope you're excited because this is the Speed Duels Progression Series. What is up guys, it's Topsy and welcome back to another episode of the SpeedDuel Progression Series. So if you didn't catch the last episode of the SpeedDuel Progression Series, then long story short, I am back on the winning circle and we did it with magnets. And I'm just gonna say this, that magnet deck that we ended up building was not the best version of it that I could have built. I completely forgot that I had access to cards like Metaverse. I completely forgot to add copies of Edequa to the deck. There was quite a bit that I forgot to incorporate into that strategy, which made it not as good as it could have potentially have been. So in some future episode, I might bring the magnets back again just because I had a ton of fun playing it. But enough reminiscing about that last episode. In today's episode, we have quite a bit to talk about just because in today's episode, we're actually going to be opening up part 2 of Duel's Shadows, that being Dangers from the Shadows. And in this set, I am so excited to talk about just because we're getting a lot more cool stuff in here. And one strategy specifically is calling out to me, that of course being vampires. But vampires is going to be very difficult to build, and there is another gimmicky deck that I want to go ahead and test out if vampires isn't on the table. But with that being said, let's jump on over to yugioh Pro Deck to have a better look at today's set. Alright then, so here we are, Dangers from the Shadows, and as I mentioned, in this set, it's going to be incredible. Vampires is the big deck that both me and Bear are going to be trying to build into, but besides that, there's a lot of other amazing stuff to get out of here. So this time around, let's go ahead and begin with the 2 secret rares of the set, those being Macrocosmo and Ill Blood. Ill Blood 100% is the card that I am going to be looking for, just because this is such an incredible piece of support for any zombie based strategy I could potentially try out. And I feel like both me and Bear have really robust collections of zombie monsters that we haven't been able to quite use yet. But I feel like with some of the cards that we're going to get introduced in today's set, that's going to open up the floodgates for us today. And the other one, Macrocosmo, well, I'm not as big on this card just because I don't typically like these type of cards that are floodgatey in nature. I know Bear in particular is going to be super excited and kind of upset at the fact that it is a secret rare. Moving down to the ultra rares, there's quite a bit to talk about it here as well. Almost every single ultra rare here is pretty fantastic. Starting off with the vampire stuff, we have the Vampire's Desire alongside the Vampire Genesis. Now, of course, I am really excited to potentially see these 2 cards. Genesis in particular is the boss monster of the vampire based strategy, and Vampire Desire is an incredible piece of consistency. So if we see either one of these, it's going to be incredible for us. Aside from that, we have the Sacred Beast. These cards are not going to be incredibly playable just because they are pretty difficult to bring out, but they are cool nevertheless. And if I pull one of these, I might just be fun and try and build into it, but we'll see. It depends. We also do have some Archfiend stuff with Imprisoned Queen and Mist Archfiend. Mist Archfiend being the better one of the 2, just because it is generic normal summable 2400 attack monster, so that's pretty awesome. We have Galaxy Cyclone as a generic form of backroom removal. I would be super excited to get a copy of this. And Unending Nightmare is another piece of backroom removal as well, but it is only for face-up stuff. But it is continuous, so that's kind of neat. Finally, we do have Call of the Mummy, which is a phenomenal card for any zombie-based strategy, so I would not be mad whatsoever if we pulled a couple copies of this card as well. Onto the super rares, there's quite a bit here as well. Cyber Dragon is going to be a great reprint here just because I got 1 copy of this while Bear got 2, so if I could get another one, that'd be pretty cool. Ryokoki is pretty great for the zombies as well, just because it is an easy special summon off Call of the Mummy, and it has some cool interactions with warriors and spellcasters. Aside from that, we have Vampire Familiar and Vampire Lord and Vampire Awakening all in the super rare section. All 3 of these cards are 100% I want to see these. just because these are all just so great in the strategy. As for the rares, there's so much to talk about here. Starting off with some of the generic stuff me and Bear are going to get access to. Foolish Bear, Book of Life, and Allure of Darkness are all incredible. Of course, continuing on with some more zombie stuff, we have Zombina, Vampire's Curse, Sorceress, Retainer. All great cards, especially if you want to blend them in with vampires and zombies. Mother Grizzly, it gets reprinted here. Royal Firestorm Guard, really good if we try to build into Volcanic, but it's a bit iffy on that. We have DD Crow as a destructive hand trap. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, I forgot to mention this, but Spirit of the Pharaoh is a card that I would want to pull as well, just because this is a really bad strategy that I have a soft spot for. And if I'm able to build into it, I will. Especially if I can blend it in with vampires. That could be so much fun. And I have a bunch of cards that work really well with these cards. So it is a rare and these two are common. So if I pull all these, just watch out for this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As a whole, really exciting set. As I mentioned, vampire is the main thing I'm looking for, and if not vampire, then I would like to build into the Pharaoh deck. But with that all being said, I'm super excited and I'm hoping to get lucky here. All right, let's do this.
All right, guys, and welcome to the episode of the Duels Progression Series. And okay, so we're goofing around, obviously. I think we throw in one curveball, maybe do one deck that I've been wanting to play since we sort of got access to a lot of the cards for it, and that's going to be zombies today. We're going into dangers from, what is this, dangers from below? From the shadows. Okay, dangers from the shadows. I will let Topsy go over the cards from here. I think he's going to already. And I'm going to go over some of the skills, but just know vampires and zombies and etc. are going to be eating. Okay, so let's get into some of these skills. First up, Ancient Ruler Rises. Apply the following skills. So once per turn, send a level 2 zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard and place your first sarcophagus, second sarcophagus, third sarcophagus from your deck graveyard or that is banished face up in your spell trap zone. And then it treats it as the effect of the first sarcophagus. Each Spirit of the Pharaoh you control gains attack equal to the number of Pharaoh's Servant or Pharaonic Protector are in your field and in your graveyard. Right now I'm having a hard time remembering all of these cards. I do think I remember Pharaoh's Servant, I believe, but we'll see. I'm not too sure what that entails, but maybe it's good, maybe it's not. This one's going to be some of the Dark Scorpion gang stuff. So once per duel during your main phase, if you control Don Zalug, you can discard one card to special summon 2 Dark Scorpion monsters with different names from your hand and deck, one from each. Don Zalug and Dark Scorpion monsters you control can attack directly, but when they do, using this skill, the battle damage inflicted your opponent becomes 400. You cannot summon or set any monsters except Don Zalug and or Dark Scorpion monsters. Actually, not that bad. So if you're able to get the attacks off, you can rip cards from the hand, pop back row, pop monsters, I believe. They have good effects when they do direct battle damage. So this might be an interesting option for us to look into doing. All right, next we have Victory of the Shadow Riders. Another archetype we're getting in here is the Sacred Beast, basically the second wave of gods, similar to like, you know, Winged Dragon of Ra, Obelisk, and Slifer. These are like the updated versions for like the GX era, and they use this card in specific. When this skill is activated, add 1 Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames, Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder, and Raviel, Lord of the Phantasms from your deck to your hand. So you get to just get one to your hand. Once per turn, you can discard one card and then special summon one fiend monster with 0 attack and 0 defense from your graveyard. They do have Sacred Beast. I think they are just called the Sacred Beast monsters, where they sort of like to span themselves out, you know, additional normal summon, special summons, and you basically just tribute them off essentially. So this is going to allow you to summon your guys essentially. All right, Setting Sun. This looks like a vampire one. During your main phase, you control a monster whose attack, oh, I guess not. Whose attack was question mark in the deck. You can banish one card from your hand, then add one monster from your deck to your hand with question attack, but with different name from the cards you control. And this is like the Helios archetype, and they deal with like banishing. Also, I see you, Topsy. Put fucking macro at secret rare. This guy has it out for me, dude. Put macro at secret rare. All right, now we have the Archfiend stuff. So this is Archfiend's promotion. Once per turn during your main phase, if you control Vile Pawn Archfiend and your opponent controls no card in its same column, doesn't control, well, can we fix a grammar on some of this? You contribute it to special summon 1 level 8 or lower Archfiend monster from your hand or deck that has Queen, Bishop, Rook, or Knight in its name. That's kind of cool. Okay. I'm not sure how good that is, to be honest, but sure. That is crazy. That's wild. I should have started playing Speed Duels a long time ago. All right. During the end phase, if a zombie vampire monster you control inflicted battle damage to your opponent this turn, gain life points equal to half the total battle damage your monster inflicted to your opponent this turn. It could be good. You have to kind of already be in an advantageous spot, obviously, and this is more, I see this as a win more for the most part. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's still, I guess, something. All right, unlocking the power. When you special summon Uriah, the Lord of Searing Flames, or basically the Sacred Beast monsters, using the method mentioned on that card, you can use face-up fiend monsters, continuous spells, and/or continuous traps you control, regardless of the card type the text requires. So this allows you to play continuous cards and spam monsters to summon out these guys constantly. This means you'd have to have multiples of these guys. Maybe it doesn't matter. I think having one of each is good, but yeah, this would allow more. I think you'd be able to play better cards in the deck with this, I believe. I'm not sure how good our continuous trap and spell card pool is, and it is squeezed together. You know, we only can do 3, so could be good. Could be. We'll see. All right, you can summon set non-fiend monsters. Once returned during your main phase, you can roll a 6-sided die. If you do, lose life points equal to result times 200, but if the result is 2, 3, or 4, you can special summon one archery monster with a level equal to the result from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It's fun, but I don't know if it's good. Vampiric Aristocracy. Once per duel during your main phase, you could change the name of one zombie vampire monster you control to Vampire Lord while it's face up on the field. Each vampire genesis you control gains the following effect. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard, set it to your field. Not bad. Guessing you can't change the battle position. Okay. Interesting indeed. That's the last skill. This one is a bit better in my opinion. It's not really win more. It's focusing more on a specific gimmick, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know what the benefit of making a monster you control to Vampire Lord, just changing the name of it. I'm not sure what the benefit of that is. I'm sure I'll find out as Topsy goes over some of the card pool and everything. But yes, let's go actually ahead and actually open up some of these banger Roonies. 36 packs, and I'm going to say it again. Looking at it, bro, I'm going to at least need a Cosmic Cyclone. First up, Bark of Dark Ruler. I think we have this one. Yeah, I think we do have this one. Few months you control. Yeah, we do. We do have that. Banisher the Radiance, annoying ass card. So if he decides to roll up with zombies, that's gonna be a nightmare for him. Usually, they want to use that graveyard.
All right then, so 36 packs of Dangers of the Shadows coming right up. Let's see if we can get lucky here. As I mentioned already, I would like to play the Vampire Strategy, but honestly, I'm also cool with playing my little gimmicky Sarcophagi deck. So I'm happy to see that we have the second there, but these are all common, so I'm expecting to get a play by the end of it. DD Survivor is an interesting pull also, just because there is a really fun homunculi deck I can play. So cards like DD Survivor, DD Destroyer, DD Scout Plane are all great additions to that deck, so I will be keeping an eye out for those cards as well. Oh, okay, very great card here, Zombina. She's just a very generically good monster, especially when she gets paired up in Rat Toolbox strategies, and can just be a pain to deal with. And I'm hoping that Bear doesn't catch on this, because he has a lot of really annoying cards like Mask of Restrict, like Nightmare Wheel, that are such a pain alongside Lava Golem. They're just really annoying to deal with and create a really degenerate deck. So I'm hoping he doesn't catch on to that, but Zombito is a very important part in those type of strategies.
3 Cyber Dragon, by the way. Is that worth running at the 3 of? That honestly is, right? I think that is, yeah. Fuck it. Okay. 3 Cyber Dragon. Let's get it. DD Crow, I think we had 2 of those before, so now we have 3. So we're rounding out some play sets here. There's also another Speak of the Devil. We already had 2 Book of Life. Now there's our 3rd one. Okay, please just make them different cards from now on. Like last episode sucked because of that. We're getting Archfiend stuff. I don't think the Archfiend stuff is amazing, but I could be tripping. Grand Maju, so we're getting some of the Banisher stuff. That's important.
Ooh, DD Crow is a really cool card to see here. Just because it's a really nice card for very graveyard oriented strategies, which I feel like we're going to be leaning towards in today's episode. So I am not minding that whatsoever, especially for the side deck. So I would like to end with at least 2 copies of DD Crow if possible. Oh, wow. Wow. This is an incredible pack. Ill Blood and Spirit of the Pharaoh in the same pack. That is incredible. That means that our sarcophagi deck is live right now. And man, Ill Blood on top of that too. Whew. Oh, we can cook with this. Oh, we can cook. That is insane. That is a secret rare I wanted, and we got it. Wow. Holy shit.
There we go. Okay, we did not have Vampire Lords. That is awesome as well. We're getting some Vampire cards. There is a deck that I can build using the Vampire, using a skill that Topsy is not the biggest fan of, that I might be doing. Ill Blood? Dude. Okay. That is pretty... We're probably playing zombies. But look... Oh, dude, we're fucking cooking, bro.
Oh, Zoma the Spirit. I don't think any of us have gotten this card whatsoever in the series so far. Huh. Oh, I am cooking up some devious strategies right now in my head, and Zoma is a part of that. Ooh, man. Okay, given where we're at right now in the pack opening, I think I know what I'm doing for today's episode. Oh man, Zoma is so good here. All right, let's continue. Man, why? Okay, so that's insane. Vampire Genesis is a really good boss monster, especially when you play it with Vampire Aristocracy. I believe that's the name of the skill. God damn. There's a retainer there as well. Oh man, guys, I don't know how I do this. Ill Blood and these hollows are insane. God damn it, I feel bad. You know what? Regardless of how crazy we pull for vampires today, I think I'm gonna go with the more fun strategy with Spirit of the Pharaoh, just because we're in such a lead right now. But goddamn, just having access to this card is making it so difficult to make this decision.
Allure. Oh my god, we're so fucking cooking, bro. We're so cooking right now. Mother Grizzly, solid too. I'll take a Mother Grizzly. I don't think we had any of those. Second Allure, hyper consistency. Mother Grizzly, I'll take that. Another Vampire Sorceress. Sorcerer, my bad.
Okay, interesting here. Archfiend in general is really good, especially for the Archfiend strategy. Just because he's a huge monster. He gives you access to your Pandemonium field spell, and that deck needs that card really badly to prevent yourself from paying that shitty maintenance cost. But Foolish Burial, that completes our set, because it is at 2 right now in our format. So honestly, I'm hoping I don't pull any more Foolish Burials from here on out, just because we're not going to be able to play Foolish Burial more than 2, like, for the rest of the series, I don't think. Okay, Rabio, Lord of Phantasms. Is there something I can do with this card? Probably not. At least nothing that is good, per se. That is so funny. Cool card. I like the art, but I don't think I'm going to be using this anytime soon, which is a shame. Ain't no way. Shut up, man. What? 2 Ill Bloods. 2 Ill Bloods. That's overkill. That is such overkill, man. Oh my goodness, Bear. I'm very sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. This is fucked up. Holy shit.
Dude, we're getting some good staples right now. Dude, this is looking solid. Soul Release would completely screw them if we use that on them. That's a pretty good card to run in the side deck, actually. Giant Orc, just like beat down. I don't think skill drains in this series, but if it was, ooh, Vampire's Desire. Okay, I think we know what we're doing, folks. Vampire Lady, getting some more vampire stuff, not bad. Call the Mummy, that's also really good too. That's a 1-0 for sure. Okay.
Ooh, okay. I'm happy to see that. Allure Darkness is a card that both me and Bear missed out on when it got printed initially in our sets. So happy to see it here now. I would like to end today's pack opening by having at least access to 2 of these cards. If 3 would be optimal, but 2 would be very nice, especially because I'm assuming this card is going to get restricted in our format once it starts seeing play. But very great card nevertheless. Okay, very happy to see that as our second copy of DD Crow. If we don't pull any more, I'll be okay, but ideally I would like to see at least 1 more. Hey, and there it is, a playset of DD Crows and Vampire's Awakening. Shut up, man. Oh my god. The simulator wants us to play Vampires so bad. Awakening in the Genesis. That shit's unfair, man. We also have the 2 retainers now, so the Awakening is super searchable. My goodness. Bear, this simulator hates you, man. I don't know how I'm doing this. Okay, that's interesting. Imprisoned Queen Archfiend. This card is okay for the Archfiend strategy. I don't plan on playing it anytime soon just because I don't think it's very good, and it's just not very fun for me.
There's 3 allure. That's pretty good. Second Call the Mummy and Goblin Zombie. Dude. Okay, giant orc, yeah.
Okay, second pack after that, Fallen Paradise. I mean, if I were to play a Sacred Beast deck, you would want to see Fallen Paradise as the dedicated field spell, but come on, that's not enough for the deck to be playable. Stop. Simulator, please stop. What the fuck? Okay, Uriah alongside Arvaviel, so are we gonna get the Hamon too? That would be crazy. This is my personal favorite of the Sacred Beast. It's not that good, but I just love the design of it. Same with Slifer. That's my favorite Egyptian god card. They just look so cool, but goddamn, these cards are terrible. Oh my god, the simulator wants us to play this deck so bad. Second copy Fallen Paradise. We're not doing it. Come on, get it through your head. We're not doing it right now.
Lastly, we got Raviel. Okay, so if we want to do the Sacred Beast stuff, we can use Raviel, but looking at our polls, a lot of good stuff here. So we did get a secret rare, the one that, I mean, macro or this one. I think technically this one is the better option, but I would have loved a macros because Topsy knows that's one of my decks. So he put that in the secret rare. So he did it on purpose, by the way. And I almost got it, buddy. You're lucky. Not really, because you're going against like a constructed zombie deck borderline. But we got Illblood. That's a 10 out of 10. Zambira, that's a 10 out of 10. Sidra at 3 now, that's a 10 out of 10. Grand Magi, just that one copy isn't really worth running the Banishing deck. You'd probably want a couple of these. I'd say you'd probably run as a 2 of, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. Yeah, probably a 2 of. Depends like how many cards you're using to banish and everything like that. Vampire Lord, solid. That's one of the boss monsters in the zombie deck. So now we have 2 boss monsters. So that's pretty cool. I'll take that. And then, do you have to normal summon this to get its effect? No, we can just call the mummy this. That's pretty crazy. And we have 2 of it. Maybe we run our big beater zombies and run like double call of the mummy and like some like good stuff. We only have 1 goblin zombie, which kind of sucks, but if we're running the vampire stuff, then it's not the worst thing in the world, honestly. We did get a foolish, and now we have a playset of Allure of Darkness, so that's pretty solid. That's hyper consistency. That's what we're looking for. And we have a playset Book of Life. I don't know if we would play 3 Book of Life, especially if we have an Illblood. It's still good. It is still good. We could like make the deck big just in case he's like running a banish deck. I don't know. There's a lot we could do, but essentially the main gist of what we're going to be doing today is 100% going to be zombies. 1,000,000% is going to be zombies. Yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to the deck builder and see what we could cook up.
Okay, so we're now on our last pack, and it's been an incredible pack opening. Right now, yeah, I think I am going to be going with the gimmicky deck, but it could change. We'll see. So we have the Bazoo, the Soul Leader. We have different dimension encounter, Grand Convergence. This card's crazy with macro cost, by the way. Archfiend Soldier. We have Vile Pawn Archfiend, Banisher of the Radiance, King of the Skull Servants, Cyber Valley, and what's the rare? Okay, Pandemonium. Okay, so really good pack opening. In particular, getting 2 copies of Illblood, the Zoma is insane, Vampire Awakening, and the Genesis, absolutely insane. Obviously, if we want to have like the best chances of winning in today's episode, we should build into the Vampire deck. Just having access to Genesis is insane. The 3 Retainers, the Vampire Ladies. What else do we have here? The goblins, the goblin zombies, the Zombina. There's like so much good stuff going on right here for these vampire strategy. However, I think that we're in enough of a lead right now to where we can justify rolling up with the Spirit of the Pharaoh deck. We did get the 2 copies of it. I'm glad about that, just because, I mean, the deck is playable with 1, but 2 makes it to where you can summon this guy multiple times, which is pretty cool. But alongside that, we got all the comments we needed. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this because I think I have a very fun deck in mind, and I'm just really excited to showcase this to you guys. But with that being said, incredible pack opening, and yeah, I'm excited for today's episode. Let's do this.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna be playing zombies today, and should be a fun one. Okay, so before we get into any of our boss guys, let's just get some generics out of the way. Kaiku, he's running zombies, boom, Kaiku. He's running anything graveyard related, boom, Kaiku. Donzalug, we're going to be swinging with a lot of big guys. And then if we add this guy as our extra normal summon along with that big guy, we're ripping a card out, or we're sending their cards to the graveyard and milling them out. And that's it for the 2 generic just monsters, I guess. I guess now we can start to get into the meat potatoes of what we're going to be doing today. Okay, zombies. Vampire zombies, technically. But we're going to be using Call of the Mummy. And we're going to be getting to that by playing 2 copies. We did get 2 copies. And we're going to be using Allure of Darkness at 3 copies. And all of our monsters are dark monsters. So shouldn't be the hardest thing to do to get to this, hopefully. We're going to be running 3 Allure to get to the Call of the Mummy and any of our other good spell traps, which we have a fair bit of. So what are we going to be doing? We are going to be setting or normal summoning the Vampire Sorcerer. It's going to be sent to the graveyard, and we're going to add a Vampire. We have 2, Vampire Lord and Vampire's Curse. This will allow us to banish this card on the following turn and normal summon this without tributing. Pretty dope. We're also able to search out Vampire's Desire. If this is sent to the graveyard, we can search Vampire's Desire. Say we foolished our Vampire Lord. We activate Vampire's Desire, normal summon any of our other zombies, and boom, Vampire Lord is back on the field. All right, and then some of the targets for Call of the Mummy are going to be Despair from the Dark. The reason why I have this in here is because if he is also playing zombies, or maybe Dawn Zalug or whatever, and he's trying to mill us out or send our best monsters to the graveyard, he would probably not choose monsters, but just in case he did on the first turn he attacks us with a Zombie Lord, we could get this guy out for free. Next up, Illblood, probably the best card in this deck next to Vampire Lord. Once per turn, special summon 1 zombie monster from your hand or graveyard, either graveyard, so this is also good in the mirror match. And bada bing, bada boom, more guys to swing with. Vampire's Curse. This follows the same line with the Vampire's Desire and the 2 Vampire Sorcerer. We're able to get combos off that way as well. And basically, if this is destroyed by battle, we're able to get it back out pretty easily. It's like Vampire's Lord effect, but with monsters battling over it, which won't be that often. So we're just essentially, we would play 2 Vampire Lord, but right now we're going to be playing the Vampire's Curse because it works with the engine and it's our best option technically. Okay, next up we have the Goblin Zombie. So if this inflicts damage, send the top card of their deck to the graveyard. This puts our Book of Life online. Also Dawn Zalug can put our Book of Life online as well. Next up here we have Foolish Burial. This will help put our big guys in the graveyard so we're able to special summon them later. Night Beam's a generic card, just destroy a set card. Wall of Disruption, we're going to be playing big guys, so we're going to make sure our big guys can get over. And then one of our best forms of removal is Zone of the Spirit. This is limited to 1 for a reason, I'm guessing. So we're going to be able to do a lot of damage with this deck, and this is a hyper aggressive deck. And for our side deck, we're going to be running primarily going first cards, because this build you want to go second, obviously, as you could tell. The extra card helps, and we're going to be wanting to battle over a lot of other things. And if we go first, they might not see we're playing a lot threatening back row, but if we add in all 6 of these pieces, we're going to have the back row that's going to make them feel threatened by it. And then maybe by game 3, we'll keep in the Waking Dragons. So whatever back row we have, he might try to pop, and then boom, we get out Cyber End Dragon. So yeah, I think this should be a pretty solid deck list for this episode. It's still fun. It's brand new. I don't think we've had a zombie deck so far, at least. I'm like, oh yeah, and also the skill we're playing is Ectoplasmic Fortification. We're just making our guys bigger, honestly. There's other ones that have an argument, I would say, for sure, but we're not running a level 4 specific zombie engine. We're kind of just focusing on big bunguses, and this helps with big bungus. They're not going to really have monsters that are bigger than this, essentially, and if this turns every card on the field into a threat the more turns go by. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into some duels, my guys.
Alright guys, so here's what I ended up cooking up for today's episode, and it is a doozy of a deck. So essentially what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be going ahead and playing Spirit of the Pharaoh Turbo, in a sense. So essentially what I wanted to do with this deck is that I wanted to go ahead and utilize this card right here with its whole little gimmick and accompany it with its very good skill in Ancient Ruler Rises. Now, is this deck the best deck we could be playing in today's episode? No. But I ended up building it in a way where I think it gives us the best chance of winning today's episode, because even if I want to go ahead and roll up with a kind of a gimmicky strategy, I still do intend on winning any episode I end up rolling up into. And I think this is the best version of this deck that could help me with winning today's episode. And as you can see, it is a 30 card deck, but I believe that's a-okay just because the deck is fairly consistent in the way that it works, just because you're able to mill unnecessary monsters in your deck and set up the sarcophagi cards that you want to have on your field. So with all those aspects in mind, I think this deck is going to work really, really well. All right, so let's break it down. Essentially, the necessary cards of the strategy are Pharaoh Servant and Protector. You need these cards in order to activate the skill Ancient Ruler Rises. You are able to send one of these guys to the graveyard in order to set up your sarcophagus cards in the first, second, and or third. It's somewhere around here. There we go. So these guys are very important for that. But not only that, in addition to being important for the skill, I also ended up adding some cards to give them some additional value, with cards like Order to Charge to pop any monster Bear may have that we can't deal with physically, and with Order to Smash in order to deal with his back row. This card is incredible, especially when you pair it up with a deck that's able to spam out these cards. After that, we have the boss monster of the deck in Spirit of the Pharaoh, which its effect is kind of like a non-factor. Under certain circumstances, when we summon him, we're able to bring out 2 of these guys, and then we can get a lot of value off the activation of Order to Smash and or Order to Charge. That's kind of cool, but don't expect this effect to come up crazy often. Then with that, we have some of the other boss monsters of the deck with Ill Blood and Vampire Lord. I think that this deck does need a different avenue to go ahead and benefit off the effects of in some of the cards in this strategy, just because the strategy that we are playing specifically is very fragile. If Bear pops any of her sarcophagus cards, it can just ruin the whole thing for us. So we do need a backup plan in case that happens. So that's why we have these cards right here. After that, we have Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. Unfortunately, we did not get any copies of Book of Life, which is really unfortunate. And I know that Bear already had, I think, 1 or 2 copies of them in his collection. So if I'm expecting him to play something zombie related, I do want to have the Kaiku in deck already in order to go ahead and deal with that. That's why we have this here. Also, Kaiku is just an overall good monster, and having graveyard control is not bad whatsoever. Then after that, we have Zombina and Giant Rat. This is just a really good engine on its own. Rat can go into Zombina, Zombina can recover one of her monsters, or Rat can go into the Pharaonic Protector in order to give us access to this card with to utilize later with Order Smash and or Charge. So I like this engine right here. It helps thin out the deck and it's just good overall. Then we get into the Spell and Trap card lineup. Book of Moon, nothing to say here. Double Cyclone. We have a surprising amount of cards that we can pop with this, and we can set up our sarcophagus whenever we need them. So this card has so much utility. The sarcophagus, Waboku, we need chainable Spell and Trap cards in order to go ahead and justify having them face up on field, so they don't clog up the field for the sarcophagus. So that's why we have this here. Wall Disruption and Widespread Ruin, they're just good cards. Jar of Avarice, we can recycle everything because once they deal with sarcophagus in Spirit of the Pharaoh, they're done. So if I can recover them, that just gives us longevity. Finally, we have the Metal Reflex Slime and Zoma as just big ass monsters on our field. And the great thing about these 2 cards is that they do not take up the Spell and Trap card zone when you activate them. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck. I think it works really great. It's extremely powerful, and I'm hoping to win today's episode. As for the side deck, we kind of just have like a defensive side deck and transformative. We have Grand Merc here in case we need another boss monster to summon. Sidra just because it's good going second. DD Crow because I am expecting him to play something graveyard related like zombies. And finally, Zero Gravity as just another flex spot in the deck. With that being said, I'm super excited for this deck, and let's do this. Alrighty, Bear, how are we doing today, buddy?
Pretty good, my goat. Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty great as well, and I'm actually really excited to share with you today's little deck, just because it's one of my personal favorite bad strategies in speed duels, but I made it as competitive as possible. So I'm expecting a good one today. How about you? Like, how are you feeling about the deck you're running up with?
It's I think the general concept is good.
Okay.
I don't know if I had all the tools to make it come together fully. Like I think it's okay though. We're all good.
All right. Well, that being said, let's start this. Let's do this.
Let's get it.
Let's get
the
it.
most important part of the match right here. This decides who wins.
Dude, it'd be
if
fucking
the other person
insane.
wins, they got lucky, and then if the other person wins,
It's all skill.
it's all skill.
Okay, well,
Yes.
you won the. All right.
This would appear slime the skilled player
skill,
for today.
The pure skill. All right.
Oh, what is this?
Fuck.
Oh,
This hand
okay.
is what the fuck. Why? Okay. Let's activate my skill. Ancient Ruler Rises. So we're gonna go ahead and send a copy of Pharaonic Protector to the graveyard, and we're gonna activate the first sarcophagus.
Boy, what the hell, boy?
All right. After that, we're gonna go ahead and set a card, and we're chilling after that.
I suppose you are.
Like, guys, diabolical opening up these two. I swear. But it's okay. It's okay. We can still win this.
I'm gonna have to do some reading real quick.
Some
if you don't
reading.
mind.
Okay, it's all this is in order to bring out a really bad boss monster. Every single turn during the end phase, I can summon another sarcophagus card to my back row. That's what it does.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my deck. And I
Oh
was
no,
like,
no, mine.
That's pretty much every deck. That's pretty much every deck I do. But...
Yeah, just to save you the reading. Literally, this card, all it does is sets up the sarcophagus cards, which do nothing on their own. You don't trust me? I hate you so much.
Just double checking.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought we were friends.
Spirit of the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Spirit of Pharaoh. Is that your boss monster?
That is the boss
or is
monster.
That the setup?
That's the boss monster. Yeah. That is the payoff.
Okay. So what are we setting right here? What are we setting right here?
We're just setting stuff.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think this is pretty all right.
So what are we doing here?
We're actually only going to actually don't want you to have whatever that is on there. That could be a big booty, but I don't know. I feel like I doubt it.
Okay.
I don't think it has a big booty. I could be mistaken. We're going to normal summon Vampire Sorcerer.
Oh god, yes, you're doing vampire stuff. What's the skill? Which one are you using? Ectoplasmic. What? Okay. Let's see.
I think the deck is good enough on its own to not need anything else. So I'm just making their attacks a bit bigger.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, a little rat action.
Little rat action.
You goddamn rat.
Okay. And with that, let's go ahead and bring out Zombina.
Zombina.
Yeah.
Zombitch. What is this? Oh, I see. A level 4 lower zombie?
No card. Just
Or
anything.
Wow, so that boy want that giant rat. That boy really do want that giant rat.
It's a neat
So
little.
can you craft this and activate it?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you can go and keep thinning out your deck a bit.
Yeah. All right. Sarcophagus. I opened this fucking card.
That's
okay.
awesome.
No, it's not.
That is pretty good. I think that's solid. That's the point of your deck, correct?
Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'll end turn with that.
Oh. He went ahead and ended that turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
I did.
All right. You're gonna fucking hate me.
Oh no. No.
I've never seen a more perfect opportunity to activate or just summon a card in my life. You ready for how pissed you're gonna be?
Okay, let's see it. Oh, okay. Oh man, Kaiku already.
That boy is a kike. Okay, that sounded bad. We're just gonna go ahead and attack with this
Effect.
Prio. Oh, I didn't like battle damage.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I'm like,
Fuck. I thought if
No.
I destroy something, that sucks. Damn it. Whatever. I think I'm still looking okay.
All right.
I think Kaiku puts a little bit more pressure on you.
All right. Activate the effect.
Get that boost monster.
Let's go. We can do it now.
What the fuck?
Let's go. I pulled it off. Oh my god.
It's crazy.
It's such a dumb fucking strategy. All right. I'm going to activate the effect of my skill. I'm going to send another one to the graveyard. And then we're going to set the first sarcophagus back. Look how big he is.
That is quite a large guy.
It is. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and tribute this off. We're going to summon Ill Blood.
Wow, it's really turning around just like that.
All right, let's get rid of the Kaiku. Wait, hold up. What am I doing? Okay, luckily I think this is just game. I forgot to change the attack.
Yeah.
The rat. Woo! Let's go! Gimmick for the win.
Dude, I should have I forgot to set wall disruption. Like,
Oh my
I forgot to
God.
set it twice, like a dumbass.
Dude, that's crazy. Duel 2, let's do this.
All right.
Ain't no
Interesting,
way.
man.
Okay, whatever. Dude, the same damn hand, bro.
So how did that motherfucker get to fucking
Okay.
like how much attack?
Okay,
Oh,
so
Pharaonic Protector in the graveyard. Okay.
yeah, Ancient Rulers has the additional effect, the skill. Okay.
This is looking familiar.
Yeah. It's actually kind of crazy that
We're gonna go and activate Allure.
yeah, it's fine.
That's hilarious. Okay.
Okay. One less sorceress.
New pickup. New
Okay.
pickup here.
New card
We're
dropping.
going new card PogChamp. We're gonna activate Foolish Berry.
Oh, you finally got foolish. Okay, I'm sure you're
did.
happy about that.
I am quite.
All right, so what are we sending?
Let's go ahead and send a
So right now I'm curious as
Let's
to
send-
how deep into vampires you went. So guess we'll see.
somewhat deep. We'll do Vampire's Curse.
Curse. Okay.
And then we're going to normal summon Vampire Sorceress.
Yeah.
Activate skill.
Boost
Boost it up just a wee smidge.
just a smidgen. Okay.
Set 2 back row.
Mm-hmm.
Enter battle.
Okay.
Attack face down.
Okay. Pharaonic
You got
Protector.
2 of them bitches in there.
Yep. All right. Let's activate this. It was in hand again.
That's awesome.
All right. I'm gonna go and try and snipe out the good one. Okay, that was a good
That
one.
was a good one. That was a good one.
All right. Well, your turn.
Hold off on that.
Okay.
All right. And time for. Wait, let's see. What's your back row? What is your back row? Could it be wall?
Could it?
Is it wall? I think wall's the only one I care about right now.
Okay.
It's the best way. So that punishes that. What back row I see an idea? I know you have to have a wall in there. Could be another dust tornado.
Decisions, huh?
Indeed. Okay, let's think here.
Bro is thinking hard. Keep in mind, you're a halfway point in your timer.
Okay. Wall decreases by 800. So this would be
Per monster.
per monster.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to normal summon Vampire Lord.
Yeah.
Then we're going to activate Ectoplasm, boost it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we will go battle.
Okay.
Does he have the wall?
No, but I do have Book of Moon.
Okay. Book of Moon's pretty good. I guess I forgot about that one.
Okay, interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that would summon an attack. It is in defense position. Very cool. That was so ass. Well, I guess at least you probably will not attack that.
Let's go. Okay, he's on field now. All right, we get to bring out the boys. Oh.
That
Interesting.
sucks. Whatever. I think I lost.
Okay. Yeah, it's looking pretty cooked for you right now. So we're gonna go ahead and tribute summon for Ill Blood. We're gonna activate the effect. We're gonna go ahead and send this from the deck to the graveyard. Do that. Boost them up a bit more. Okay, so yes. Do that. That. wins me the duel. Unless, yeah, I think that wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Illblood over the Vampire Lord, then the Pharaoh Servant over Zoma, and then Spirit of the Pharaoh for direct game. I also did have an order to charge in hand to pop the Pharaoh Servant to get rid of any monster on your field. Okay, I am curious,
Yeah.
what exactly were you cooking there? They never really.
Just standard vampire. It's
Okay.
because I believe it or not, I drew 3 vampire sorceress that hand. So I tried to do a lure, and then I don't think the
Huh.
cards could help enough on it.
Interesting.
But I don't think I definitely didn't. I didn't read Zoma, and then I was trying to dodge walls. That's
Yeah.
like tribute for Vampire Lord. What I also could
Huh.
have did was just normal summon another Vampire Sorceress and then boost them up a bit more attack that way. But if
Right.
it was wall, then it would be, pretty bad. It would have been bad with the Vampire Lord anyway. But
Yeah.
that way I would only
okay.
lose 800 attack on Vampire Lord instead of like having what I thought would be an attack position Zoma
Mm-hmm.
and 2 Vampire Sorceress to try to swing for game, but it wouldn't be game.
I see.
Yeah, and you're gonna get your boss monster regardless. Honestly, I probably should have put in more back row removal cards.
Yeah, because I was expecting that. Like at all times, I was like clenching my cheeks. I'm like, oh man, here comes the dust. Here comes like the twister or something. But I was surprised I didn't see any back removal.
Yeah, just 1 Night Beam and 1 Dust Tornado from me.
Damn, that's it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, because like I'm so used to you using so much more back removal than that. Okay, so I'm actually really curious. I want to see what exactly you were rolling up with. All right, so Curse, Vampire, we have... Oh, you got 2 Call of the Mummies. That's kind of cool. The Allures.
I didn't see him.
Yeah. How many Book of Life did you have?
I have 3, but Illblood's just a better version of Book of Life.
Yeah, okay.
And it's searchable.
So, did you only get 1 Foolish Burial?
Yeah.
Okay. I see. That sucks. Okay. Interesting. You see, when I saw the Vampire Sorceress, I thought that you had gone deep into vampires with cards like the Retainer, then maybe you got like the Trap card, maybe the Spell, or the Genesis. I was thinking that direction that you had taken, but this kind of just seems like tribute good stuff with like a little vampire engine in it.
Yeah, I didn't like the vampire skills that much.
Oh man, okay.
I don't know. Maybe I read it wrong.
Did you have any copies of Genesis? Did you actually pull the boss monster?
No.
No. Okay. Then don't worry about that one. The only way to make that deck really work is with Genesis. But the second skill isn't that bad either because you gain what's it called? You gain life points for the damage that all your vampire monsters do during the battle phase, so that's kind of a cool one.
Yeah, but I didn't do any damage to you this entire game.
No, I get you. I think one of the big missteps this duel was, I guess, too early on getting rid of your sorceress for no value.
3 of them, so I didn't care.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the deck just wasn't aggro enough. That's my main take right now.
Yeah, it looks kind of aggro, but I guess not. I think what enables it to be more aggro is probably Call the Mummy.
Yeah.
Basically, the line is go sorceress, have you destroy it, then get a
Like
vampire
a
lord or curse in hand. Then next turn, banish, summon one of these guys.
Yeah.
Swing in that way. Call the Mummy enables all these big guys to be summoned. So I figured Genesis would have took the spot of this guy, and I probably would have been running the other skill.
Yeah.
But the rest of the deck, I probably would have kept the same. If I had more Foolish Burials, I'd probably equalize it with another Book of Life. Unfortunately, it requires you to have Monsters Engraved, but I wasn't even able to do any battle damage to you, like whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I think maybe putting in like a couple of Dice Foons in the side would maybe help a bit. I did put in the Dust.
Yeah, because I don't know if you realized, but like
enough.
my deck is very fragile. Like if you pop one of the sarcophagus, they all go.
Yeah.
And have to restart from scratch again. But okay, so I'm sure you're probably curious as to what exactly I was doing.
You're just sending your little guys to the grave to boost up the big guy, using your back row to summon out the big guy.
Yeah.
Takes a couple turns.
Yeah, so yeah, you can look at it now, right? Okay, so yeah, I was pretty much prioritizing these guys part of the deck. It was pretty rough that both duels I opened up one of these guys plus the second sarcophagus, and essentially the deck is able to like get to these cards really quickly by via the skill. And I love this skill. It's such a gimmicky deck, but it works really well. As you can see, like the boss monster gets huge, like he gets big as fuck.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. And I had like the rat engine here just to thin out the deck. Zombina's kind of cool just because she can revive rat, and then that kind of creates a little loop. Not only that, but I can bring back these guys, or rat can summon out this one specifically, and then I can pair these guys up with like cards like Order to Charge or Order to Smash to pop back row and or monsters. Very defensive with like Metal Reflex Line, Zoma, Waboku. A lot of my back row is chainable, so they don't clog up the backfield when I need to use the sarcophagus to go ahead and perform the special summon of Spirit of the Pharaoh. I was also main decking a Kaiku, as you can see, because I was expecting you to go with zombie related deck.
Yeah, same.
And also the DD Crow, so you didn't have access to like reviving cards via the effect of Book of Life, which would have been huge here because you would have gotten rid of my graveyard, which power out my Spirit of the Pharaoh. But I mean, as a whole, I am a big fan of this deck. It's very gimmicky, but it's fun. It's really fun to play.
Yeah, I was just playing like zombie vampire toolbox.
Yeah, it's kind of a toolboxy deck. So I feel like you probably would have benefited from like something like a Mystic Tomato being in the format, but it's gonna be a bit before we see that card.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Any thoughts regarding my deck or questions or anything?
No, I think it's cool. You get to use your skill a bit more effectively.
Yeah.
Than probably I would with mine. Yeah, you got a Zoma too. It looks like you got a lot of the same pickups. You got an Ill-Blooded and
I got both of these valuables.
a Zoma.
Mm-hmm.
You got two?
I got both of these, yeah.
Gotcha. Is this?
It was a secret.
Yeah, I got one of those and one Vampire Lord, and yeah, you got double secret rare looking ass. Boy,
yeah,
man.
I know, man. Dude, like I genuinely feel bad whenever I do my openings. Like it's not even fun anymore. Just how fucking goated I've been at opening packs. It's actually kind of fucked up.
It is kind of fucked up, but that's okay.
It is, yeah.
I'll forgive you.
Okay.
I'll forgive you in a
Thank
bit.
you.
It'll take a bit.
I appreciate that. You're a very forgiving soul. All right. So now the more important thing, how are we going to address the format? Do you have any thoughts regarding what we should limit, restrict in any way, shape, or form? Thoughts, concerns?
The one I really think I care about is like maybe 2 books pretty good and 2 Ill-Bloods pretty good. I think that's it.
Okay.
I'll just say those.
Okay, Ill-Blood and
then,
Book of Moon.
Yeah, and then if you want to like do anything with Book of Life, that's fine too. I don't think I have enough tools like More Foolish Burial or anything to really take advantage of it, but
yeah, I mean,
if you wanted to hit Book of Life, that's fine.
Nah, I don't really want to hit Book of Life. So yeah, I did also have some thoughts. So as you may know, you don't actually, but historically speaking, Zoma has been a card that's been at 1 alongside Nightmare Wheel for a while, just because they enable a lot of burn strategies. So there is that thought right there. So we could probably hit that card to 1. We both have access to it. My main concern about doing that is that it then makes you have to choose between Zoma, Wall of Disruption, and your Nightmare Wheel, which is more of a hit to you. Mm-hmm. So instead, maybe what we could do is... This is tough, actually.
All right, how do you feel about unlimiting Switcheroo?
Okay.
Putting Book, DD Warrior Lady, Etiqua to 2, and Ill-Blood to 3 copies.
Book, Etiqua, and DD Warrior Lady to 2. And what did you want to put at 3?
I don't know. Ill-Blood's tough. Maybe that's another one that goes into 2, but I was going to say Ill-Blood to 3 initially. Maybe...
Okay. So I did have a thought on Ill-Blood. It might make you feel better to know that I don't have any copies of Book of Life. Okay. So if I summon, in order to get the effect of Ill-Blood for me personally, and I also don't have Call of the Mummy, I have to actively Gemini summon him. So if you restrict this card, I'm probably just not gonna play it. And it kind of just hurts you more just because you then have to play around the ban list but you have easier access to this card because you do have Book of Life and Call of the Mummy, so you can Gemini summon it a lot easier. I'm probably not going to be doing zombie related stuff in the future, just because I like changing up my decks every so on, but that's just my thoughts. You're free. If you want to hit Ill Blood, I'll go along with you, but I don't think that limitation is going to do much. Okay. So we can do this. We're going to put DD Warrior Lady to 2. We'll do Widespread Ruin to 1. We'll put Book of Moon to 2 as well, and we'll leave Etiquette at 3. That sound fair? I think Etiquette, out of like all the cards we mentioned, is the fairest one, so it should stay at 3. I was also thinking we could do.
Do you want to put Allure to 3?
Yeah, I was actually going to talk about Allure. So I have a playset of Allures as well, and that card historically has been put to 2 in Speed Duels. So I was going to say, did you want to follow the historic limitations of of Allure and Zoma? Zoma to 1 and Allure to 2? Or did you want to play around with the limitation of those cards?
Oh, we can try for 3 for now. If it becomes a big problem or like we're always playing it, I think it's fine to put the 2.
Okay. Did you want to do both Zoma and Allure at 3?
I feel like we'd be main decking Zoma every time. If you want to do historical on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right then. So let's reiterate on everything that just happened. So Zoma's going to be going to 1. Allure is going to be going to 3. And then we have some changes going on here. We're going to have DD Warrior Lady going to 2. We're going to be having Widespread Ruin going to 1. And Switcheroo getting unlimited. All right, man. Next episode should be interesting because we are going to be entering Streets of Battle City. And you may not know this, but in Streets of Battle City, we actually get our first ever banned skill in Speed Duel's history with My Precious Queen. So keep an eye out for that, Bear. In our format, it's going to be legal. So I don't remember if we're getting it in the first pack or in the second pack, but it's something to keep in mind. And there's a lot of really good stuff that comes out in Streets of Battle City, so I am looking forward to that.
On God.
All right, guys, and with that being said, that's another episode of the Speed Duel Progression Series. In the comment section below, share all your thoughts, comments, and concerns regarding the series. And yeah, with that being said, I look forward to the next episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.
I'm ass at this game. Bye, guys.